I did it. I finally did it. After like 8 years of struggling with this seemingly simple project, I finally did it. Modular roads that don't suck. Hey everybody, welcome back to Black Magic Craft. This seems like it should be a very simple project, right? Some little flat modular roads, but it is surprisingly difficult to pull off. Every time I thought about a way to do it, a material to use, before I even got started, I realized why it probably wouldn't work very well. Why is it so difficult to come up with a good solution for these? Well, it's because these roads have a whole bunch of requirements to make them work. First of all, they have to be thin. You don't want big, huge mounds, and they gotta lay flat. This is super important and usually the failure point of most materials. They have to lay nice and flat on the table, and they can't be too light and like want to blow away and move. They gotta be flat and heavy. They gotta have some meat to them, even though they're very thin. They also gotta be durable. They gotta hold up, and they gotta be flexible. You know, part of the durability, they gotta be flexible, especially if you wanna have them going over hills. This also makes them a lot easier to store. You don't wanna have big, long, flat, stiff pieces of road that you have to store. And last, they actually have to be practical to make. And they have to look decent too. Now, every iteration of modular roads that I've either seen, thought of, or had suggested to me fail on one or more of these things. For example, a classic way to do them is to take some tarp or canvas, painter's drop cloth, cover it in some caulking, and that works. You get something pretty similar to this. Problem is that they never lay flat and they're not heavy. Every time I've seen a picture of them, they're these little pieces with curling edges that, let's be honest, don't look that great or that practical to use in a game. But I finally found the magic ingredient, the perfect substrate. This rubber floor runner mat that you can buy by the lineal foot. It's cheap, it's easy to cut and work with, it lays nice and flat on the table, and it has a really nice weight to it. You can buy these pre-cut as floor mats rolled up, but they're gonna cost you way more than if you go to somewhere like Home Depot where they sell it on the roll by the foot. Home Depots here have this stuff that is 3 feet wide, and for 1 foot of it, it's like $7 Canadian. So something like 5 something American probably. And because it comes in these nice long lengths, you can get nice long strips of road if you want. The stuff I got has a flat side and a side with grip lines on it. Now the flat side would be the easier one to use for a road surface, but I decided to use the grip side up because it seemed like the strips would sit on the table better that way. In retrospect, I'm not sure that was necessary. I probably could have used the flat side up and been just fine and made my life a little bit easier. I'll try that next time. The beautiful thing about this rubber material is that it's easy to cut just with a basic like Olfa knife. When you cut it, you wanna make sure that your blade is at an angle so that you get a taper on the edges. This will help make them look more natural when sitting on your playmat or board. And you wanna avoid perfectly straight cuts. Don't even use the ruler. Give them some wave. At least if you're making like an old gravel type of road for fantasy games like I am here. For width, I chose 3 inches. Just seems like a nice size for a couple adventurers, maybe a horse and a cart, and it isn't so big that it takes up a ton of real estate on a small play area. I cut mine really haphazardly to give them some variation in width. I just made sure that the ends were always pretty close to 3 inches wide. Now, if you're looking at this and thinking, that grip pattern would work really well for something like Warhammer or futuristic roads, you'd be right. Honestly, you could just cut some straight strips of this stuff, slap it on the table for futuristic wargaming, and it would be mint. Now, it's up to you how modular and broken up you want these pieces to be. Personally, I don't like a ton of tiny little lengths butted together. I want to be able to just drop a couple pieces on the table and be done with it. So I made a small set with some long and short pieces and a couple of bends. I didn't make any intersections or crossroads, and you'll see later when the set is done that you actually don't need them. For big wargaming, you might want to do really long strips, and with this material you can. Now to cover these, to hide those grip lines and give things some ground texture, you want to cover them with caulking. But not just any caulking. So this time around, I actually did go with one that was brown. Specifically, this says cedar tan. There was a darker brown, but I thought this one looked more like a dirt road. A lot of the time I'll just use white and mix paint into it because the white is substantially cheaper. But I think in this case, the tinted stuff is worth it. You have to be very careful though when buying it that you don't get something that's pure silicone. A lot of tinted caulking is silicone, and paint ain't gonna stick to that. It's just gonna peel off. But there's stuff like this that exists that has silicone and acrylic latex mixed together, giving you the best of both worlds. What you wanna look for is something that says it's 100% paintable within a couple hours. In addition to it being tinted, the silicone additive is gonna make the material a lot more flexible and a lot less likely to crack. Now, I didn't thin this or mix anything into it. I just applied it directly to the strips of rubber, and I wasn't shy about how much I applied either. I just used my hands to spread and smooth it out. You obviously want to wear gloves for this, and you want a cup of water in hand so that you can keep your fingers wet so that the caulking doesn't just stick to them and make things difficult. At this point, I'm just trying to get full coverage with this forbidden peanut butter. I should have put a bit more on though to hide that line pattern just a wee bit better. Immediately after getting them covered, while things are all sticky and wet, sprinkle on some rocks and sand. Personally, I think it's wise to focus on putting the bigger stones and rubble along the edges and the finer sand across the middle to give it a bit of a border feel and keep the main path clear for minis to stand on. And please don't make 2 tire tracks with a strip in the middle. Well, unless you're making modern roads where there would be vehicles using them. Walking paths, horse paths, they don't create this pattern. So if you're using these for fantasy settings, just don't do it. To ensure all this rubble is well embedded, you can run a small paint roller over top. The trick to making this not just pull everything off is to wet the roller sleeve first, fully saturate it in water, then squeeze out the excess and roll it gently with light pressure. Don't apply much more pressure than the actual weight of the roller itself. This will get all the rocks stuck in nicely and flatten everything out to make it more playable. And if you want to save that roller sleeve, just go wash it out with water before it dries. Another reason that you want to choose a caulking that has acrylic latex in it instead of just silicone so that you can actually wash it off with water. While those are curing, let's take a second to talk about this video sponsor, Into the AM. Into the AM makes awesome clothing, mainly t-shirts, but also stuff like hats, hoodies, joggers, and shorts. They have a constantly changing lineup of interesting graphic prints as well as basic tees, which I highly recommend if you want something soft, comfy, and well-fitting that won't shrink in the dryer. The artwork is always super bold and eye-catching, and it's professionally screen printed, really high quality, so the designs hold up in the wash for a long time. The shirts are very good quality, and the printing on them is exceptional. If you've got a dresser full of old, worn, ill-fitting shirts, it might be time for an upgrade. Go look at their site and browse the designs, but be sure to use the link in my description to get there, as it will give you a 10% discount on your entire order at checkout. Even better, make your purchase between April 27th and 30th, and you'll get an extra 20% off site-wide on your purchase. That's in addition to the 10% from my link. Thanks Into the AM for helping me make this video possible. Now back to the roads. Depending on how warm and how humid your space is, it's gonna take maybe 1 to 3 hours for these to tack up and start curing. Once they're dry to the touch, I'd recommend peeling them off your work surface and gently rubbing off any loose rocks that didn't bond securely. But then you wanna put them aside somewhere to fully cure all the way through. And this can take some time, especially if you put the caulking on pretty thick. I'd say at least 24 hours, but it wouldn't hurt to leave them for an extra day or so before moving on. Once they're fully cured, you can make sure there's no more loose stones and get to painting. They actually look decent as is, and you could get away with using them like this, but with a quick bit of paint, they will look even better. I started with a reddish brown that was as close to the color of the caulking as I had. This was mostly used to cover any black on the edges that was peeking through and to make the stones and sand more uniform and consistent. This was just applied to the edges and faded in about 1/2 inch. Now, while this was still wet, I took a similar but lighter shade of brown and painted the middle sections of the road, and I wet blended the 2 browns together. This simple step gives the roads a little bit of depth and dimension. I like this effect enough that I pulled out an even darker brown, still in that slightly reddish tone, and darkened the edges even further. Again, wet blending the different shades. They looked good once dry, but I decided to add a finishing touch of a light dry brushing with tan, just to make the roads look a bit more dry and dusty and to accentuate some of the larger rocks. I think these turned out awesome. This is just a small sample set, basically a proof of concept, and I can already do a ton of different layouts with it. I really like that you can just butt these up together to create intersections, and they look decent doing so. This is in large part thanks to the fact that they're very thin and flat, which is thanks to the awesome rubber substrate. Considering this was just my first trial run at these, and they turned out this well, I think these are a smash success, and there's a lot of potential to slightly improve the process and to make different types of roads. You could definitely do some with grassy elements on the edges if you wanted, although in my opinion, the plain dirt path is best because you can use it in any setting. I'm really happy and really proud of these. Again, they seem so simple, but sometimes the simplest things are the hardest to pull off, and hell, these are it. Like, I rolled it up and look at that. It just, okay, wait, it's going down. Like, they lay so nice and flat. They're so good. I hope you liked this video. If you did, hit the like button and let me know in the comments below. And be sure to share this video with all your hobby friends and groups, because I think these are really good for any game setting or club or whatever. If you want to pick up some tools or supplies for your own gaming needs and help the channel in the process, check out blackmagicraft.ca. There I have my essential equipment page where I list the stuff I use regularly, and shopping through those links helps fund the production of these videos. Last, the best way and biggest way you can help me continue making these videos is by supporting the channel on Patreon. I'd love to see you there and have you as a new member of the Blackmagic Craft Fellowship. That's all for this one. I'm happy, I'm feeling good. Yes, ooh, these are awesome. Cheers. Relax, buddy. It's like, okay, it's just a rubber road. Settle down, settle down.